Go ahead,
Can you
Remy.
just talk about the Estoppel? What is it simply? And should tenants be apprehensive about signing them because they're often presented with one and have no idea what it is, and if they should?
Yeah, absolutely. So if there is an estoppel provision in the lease and it says, upon request from the landlord, tenant needs to sign an estoppel certificate confirming certain facts with respect to the lease, they are technically contractually obligated to sign that. It doesn't mean that they need to sign off on something that's inaccurate or that's not correct. They just need to sign off on an estoppel certificate that confirms that the facts are true with respect to the lease. So what I always tell people is, make sure you read every word of that estoppel certificate before signing it. Understand exactly what you're signing off on, because sometimes parties might try to, sneak some sort of sentence in there that might not actually be true. For example, if the landlord is reviewing an estoppel certificate that the tenant wants the landlord to sign in connection with an assignment, it might say, tenant has made all rent payments that were required to be made and landlord acknowledges receipt of same. What if the tenant hasn't made, rent for the last 2 months, for example? The landlord wouldn't want to sign off on that unless and until the tenant came up to date with the rent. So estoppel certificates really just spell out certain facts with respect to the lease, and parties such as lenders or purchasers of the property might rely on that in connection with the closing. So that's really, from a very basic perspective, that's what an estoppel certificate is. And I always recommend just having a commercial real estate attorney review that before either the landlord or the tenant decides to sign it. That's my biggest word of advice.